Hi. Okay, we're going to look at creating a seed family. Okay, the first step in creating any piece of new family content is to choose your template file software with several family templates of each conveys certain behaviors and characteristics of your family. Creating sometimes when you're creating a new piece of family content, you need to customize and to build your basic framework. Okay, so in this video, we'll discuss the concept of a seed family. It's convenient to starting point so you can initially use this from time after time when you're creating families. And then the next time you want to start a family, you'll use this seed family and it'll have your initial settings that we, normally do. So, okay, so let's move on here. Um, First of all, they got two ways you can do this. You can go here where it says new, and then you can select your template in this fashion. Let's cancel that out. Or you can go here, and you can also create a family from here. So just moving forward, now let's go down to a template that we want to use, and depending on the installation you have or the version, several basic templates, including the generic model template, which we are going to use in this video. So let's go down to our generic model. Okay, and we'll open our generic model. Okay, now we have this generic model open, and actually what happens is you have four windows, so you can type in WT and all the windows will display. Okay, so that's WT on the keyboard, which is Windows tile. Another way you can do it is here. You can tile the windows, but WT is the shortcut. Now, once you've done that, you just key in ZA, Zoom All, which is Zoom All, and you'll see all of the windows displayed. Okay, now our next step will be to, let's see what we want to do here. Okay, we'll adjust the units now. So from the Manage tab, okay, taking your time here, we want to get this right. And we want to set these units up uh, so that we can have a unit to work with. And we want to simplify this unit so it doesn't really, if I'm talking about feet or inches, miles, meters, or whatever. So we go to the Manage tab, okay, and you're on the project units. Now here, once we get to the Manage tab, we'll select length. Now here in length, as you can see, you can change the units from this edit button here. And we want to change this to decimal feet. Yeah, let's go decimal feet. And then we want to round this off to 3 decimal places. And you'll see the format displayed. Uh, so now I'll talk to you about the numbers. Any numerical values I'm going to talk about will be in feet and inches or meters. Just simply going to use whole numbers just behind the scenes. Okay. So now let's pick OK here. Okay. So we got our units, and then we'll click OK. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to create some reference planes. So from the create menu, go to reference plane, and we'll drop a reference plane here. Or you can key in RP as well. We'll place one here. So we have our two vertical reference planes. Now we'll place two horizontal reference planes. Okay, should have those in now. Now, as you can see, the numbers are in the decimal units that we placed in the Manage tab under Units, and it's rounded off to 3 decimal places. Now, we want to click the Modify tool to get out of the command, and then we're going to go ahead and select some dimensions. Okay, so now think about this. This is going to be a seed, and it's going to be reused over and over again in each of the families you curate as a generic family. Okay, so now the next step here is to go and look at these reference planes and see the names of them. See, this one is called, let's look at this one. This is our front, center, back. And it's always pinned down because that's our origin. And you'll notice here, it says defines origin. Then you go to this one. This is called center, left, right. And it also defines the origin. So that is the origin of our seed family. Now here, it doesn't have a name, but we can click it here, and we'll call this reference plane front. This reference plane above is normally usually called back. Okay. So now each of your reference plane has a name. All right. Now, next thing we want to do is add some dimensions. Okay. And we'll do our overall dimension, like so. Go to the Modify tab to escape to Man, tap the dimension, and make this value equal. And again, we'll do the same here. Overall dimension. Or you can right click to escape, but it's easier to just go to the modify command. It clears you right out of the command. Here, you tick it, and there's our equality. And we use the align dimensions. So let's move these into place. This up. Let's move this up here. See, here you go. Okay, so what we have it here, I'll hit the modify tab as well to get out of this domain. Okay, so there we have it. Now, let's go into our front view. Okay, right now, um, we're gonna go here and just adjust these dimensions. Boy, I'm having trouble with this thing here today. There we go. Sorry about my computer. This laptop is really slow. Oh, gee. Okay, there we go. Now, so we have our reference plane set and we have dimensions placed. Now, we can go here and change the scale. Let's change it to a 1/4 inch just for clarity so we can see things here. Okay, now let's move forward. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to go in and add some parameters. Okay, so we already know how to do this, pretty simple. But first, let's go into our front elevation and set a reference plane there as well. So we will change this one also to a 1/4 inch. Excuse me. Drag this out. Okay. Now we're going to create another reference plane for this speed. Let's go to RP. We'll place a plane right here. Okay, now a quick thing you can do here, you can double click this and there's our other dimension. We won't worry about naming this one, but go to the modify tab and pull this dimension string out. Okay. Now, so we have all our reference planes in place. I mean, all of our reference planes in place. So the first thing we want to do is go in and let's create some labels or parameters. So the first thing we'll do here, we'll add a label here and we'll call this, um, let's just call this W for now. It's a capital W. And we're going to make this a type parameter and its length, dimensions, and we'll say OK. And on this side, we want to take this guy, add a label here, and we'll call this, we call that one W, so let's call this one L. And let's play OK. Now, we always want to flex these to make sure everything's working properly. And remember, you got to make the skeleton, just make sure it works first. I've been noticing that you're not testing these enough. So let's call it 6. Click apply. And change to 6 to length. Let's go with our W and let's call it 8. And then click apply. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't pick it, my bad. W8. Oh, wow, sorry. 8. Keyboard, apply. Okay. So now, let's go to this view and set a label here. And we'll call this H for height. And we'll flex it. Let's make this 5. So now we've got our template started here. Everything seems to be flexing okay. And that's basically how you do this. And now what you want to do, you want to save this family or this template as a seed. So whenever you start a family, uh, you can just go in and start from here. So all of these basic parameters are set. And I'm going to save this file. We're going to call this file save as family. And we'll save it somewhere, put it on your desktop or where you're going to save these. And you'll say seed family. Options, set this to 1. We don't need 3 copies of this. Hit OK, save, and there you go. It's all done. You have, this is our basic seed family. So whenever you begin a family, open up your seed, and this is a good starting point. And from this point on, we'll move on to something else. But this is it. This is what we call a seed family. So the next time you do a family, you just open your seed and begin. Anyway, great. And if you like this, subscribe. Thank you and bye.